Hello, guys. It's me, Shane Davis, and I'm here today with my lovely, charismatic, beautiful wife, Yanzi Lynn.
Hi.
And today we're here to talk a little bit about Star Wars. We're here to talk about Cara Dune. Kind of a fan favorite character of mine, more and more. But before we get into that, guys, I feel it. It's in the stars. Today's the day you're going to subscribe to the channel. Look below, hit that little button. All right, guys, let's get straight into it. Who likes public executions?
Is that a trick question? Because apparently the other side of the aisle thinks that public execution is the best way to get rid of people. After all, they love kangaroo courts and the court of public opinion. So poor Gina, she found out she was fired from the Mandalorian via social media. And how did all that come about? Well, it all began in September. She was pressurized by, the transgender advocates saying that, you need to show your allegiance to the transgender community. Put some pronouns in your bio. So she responded by adding beep, bop, boop to her Twitter bio. That was after the fan requested her to add the pronoun. She added beep, bop, boop.
Hang on. Wait 1 second.
What?
Why is everybody upset? Maybe she's a robot. If she's a robot, then she did exactly what you asked for.
They want her to put in the pronouns that they think she should put in. They want her to either put in she, her, or something more, in line with the allegiance. Basically, by saying they, them, something like that, maybe.
But I'm saying I've never seen Gina drink a glass of water. She could be totally electric. I have no idea. She maybe did do what they asked. You don't know.
So after that controversy, she said, earlier on last year, before The Mandalorian came out, they wanted me to use the exact wording for an apology over pronoun usage. I declined and offered a statement in my own words, which was the whole, beep, bop, boop thing. I made clear I wanted nothing to do with mocking the transgender community and was just drawing attention to the abuse of the mob in forcing people to put pronouns in their bio. Carano said that she's been left out of promotions for the show following her refusal. This was heartbreaking, but I didn't want to take away from the hard work of everyone who worked on the project. So I said, okay. That was the last time I was contacted about any type of public statement or apology from Lucasfilms. I found out through social media, like everyone else, that I had been fired. Is that how the world functions now? You're just sitting there guessing, thinking what is going to happen to you. And then suddenly Disney says, oh, by the way, you're fired.
It's one thing if it's a rumor site, and it's another thing if it's the actual company you work for releasing a statement. That's pretty rough. And didn't her agent drop her also? Yeah,
her agent dropped her within hours of that statement coming out from Lucasfilms. So they're like, you know what, you have like bad juju on you now, we can't touch you anymore. And it all happened at night too. So it's not as if she can pick up the phone and talk to her agent and find out what's going on. She can't pick up the phone and talk to Lucasfilm and find out what's going on. It's very orchestrated.
That's a hell of a thing to wake up to in the morning, and then shortly after, they're yanking toys off the shelves. They're canceling productions of toys, rebounding pre-orders from people. They're getting inboxes that, hey, we can't fulfill this order because it's a recall, a Cara Dune recall. I mean, she's been branded basically a Yahtzee overnight. How does a person survive this type of cancellation executions? They're kind of a lot alike, aren't they?
I would say the problem is that who is the one doing the judging and the execution? That's the issue, you see. Because if Gina had been on the right side of history, aka she put she, her, or they, them in her bio, she would have been on the right side of history, and then nobody would be trying to execute her. Of course, they'd be putting more pressure on her, saying, now, Gina, adopt a transgender kid or something. I don't know. I mean, the mob makes ridiculous demands once you start bending over for them.
Yeah, so what happened? Didn't Pedro Pascal do something similar?
What triggered the statement from Lucasfilm to say, oh, she's no longer, employed by us, was when she posted an image on Instagram comparing the treatment of, maybe the conservative people to how the German government started getting, the neighbors to hate each other, so that people would eventually, call out their Jewish neighbors and say, oh, by the way, we don't want all these people amongst us. But that started because, the government starts planting all these little seeds in their heads saying, these people are bad, these people are bad. And that's what she's saying. She's saying that The media, the government all saying, Republicans are bad, Republicans are bad. And eventually it'll be neighbor against neighbor. Now, that is a pretty reasonable tweet, but unfortunately, because she made it in the context of, the Yanzi Germany, people thought that the post was anti-Semitic. And so apparently, if you decide to post anything about Yanzi Germany, you are going to get fired. But not if you happen to be on the right side of history, as it was for Pedro Pascal. He made this post on his Twitter, and he wrote #This is America. He posted a picture of a concentration camp in Germany in 1944, and he posted a picture of children in cages and said America 2018. Now, leaving aside the fact that this picture that was supposedly of America in 2018 is actually from Pakistan, the fact is that he also made reference to Yanzi Germany, and for some reason, he wasn't cancelled. Why? If that is the taboo topic, why does he get away, but Gina doesn't get away?
I don't judge him for this because I'm a moderate, so I think he gets away with it because he's very liberal and he says the right thing at the right time, and the crowd of the Twitter mafia, the Twitter mob, they favor him in this.
Oh, not to mention he listened to them. He put pronouns in his bio. Oh, he listens.
Yeah. Very
He's
progressive.
One of us. One of us.
One of us, yeah. This is insanity. This is absolute. I don't know. We're not operating at professional standards. Obviously, contracts aren't worth the paper they're printed on, evidently. And how are we going to treat this strong female character? Let's.
Baby Yoda apparently thinks this is how we should treat her, by ejecting her out into space. Now, what was it though? We were thinking maybe it's because it's so easy to get rid of her through a nice, quick announcement on social media. Maybe it's because her contract wasn't renewed or something like that. It's like her contract's up in limbo, so it's like it's a good time to just throw it out. Get rid of her because of all this Twitter nonsense. I mean, we did know that there was that whole Rangers of the New Republic thing, which was obviously a vehicle for the Cara Dune character. So what happened was that Cara's agents at UTA were actually negotiating for her to receive a sizable bump for the planned spin-off. They said that she was only making $25,000 to $50,000 per episode of Mandalorian, and was supposed to be, obviously they want her to make more in this new Rangers of the New Republic, and they definitely want her to make more in the Mandalorian as a result if she's going to be in not one but two Star Wars vehicles. So maybe because nothing is in writing, so it's just easier to get rid of her.
Well, it is and it isn't. Because she was very popular and she was very outspoken. People liked her. She was at one point in time in the Google search. She scored higher than the High Republic that they put in all this information and money on in this transmedia type boom. And what I mean transmedia, the High Republic is like a book written and aimed at every age demographic there is possible all at once, and somehow. Cara Dune, Gina Carano was, people were Googling her more than the actual Mandalorian show, period. And, that didn't help the negotiations. It probably actually gave her a little bit more twisting Disney's arm to pay her a rightful sum for an episode. And honestly, I'm surprised she got paid that little, considering how popular she was on the show, because there's only a handful of episodes she's even in. That's actually not a lot, considering all things.
I suppose that could be, Disney just being cheapskates. They want to make sure that they keep their budget low. So now that we have the character of Cara Dune unfortunately empty right now, what do you think? You think it's likely they will end up recasting her? Because there seems to be a lot of speculations on a lot of websites. And I guess that makes sense too, because Cara Dune is considered a fan favorite character. A lot of people are like, oh wow, a strong female character. Too bad the actress, is on the other side of the political aisle. But we love the character. We love strong women. We love thick, strong, punchy women. So maybe we have to recast her.
Well, and there's been a couple of speculations out there. One, people think, let's not recast the characters, because you have to understand, Disney owns the character Cara Dune. They just maybe don't own her likeness and approval for any product. So there's the issue. You could just put another woman in her shoes, and that didn't work out so well with War Machine when Don Cheadle came in. And for, the Marvel movies, there was a lot of where are you saying you can replace one black actor with another black actor. And what would happen in this case is a lot of people that are Cara Dune supporters probably would say, what are you saying, Disney? You can, women are just interchangeable. And it's, because obviously there's one thing when you have to recast an actor or actress, basically because they're dead. I mean, and then somebody has to fill their shoes, right? But when you're actually just booting them out and then letting somebody else in, this is a nightmare scenario for them. And it's almost impossible because you're basically ejecting somebody because of their politics, just to let somebody in because of their politics. And this would become a feverish nightmare. So what's easier to do is either make another character that takes her character's role in the series, right? Maybe Cara Dune dies off panel in the ship explosion or something. I mean, and then maybe this, and what they do, this clumsy, like this happened in the Matrix. There was the guy that was the guy plugging them in and everything, and he became a problem, and they replaced him in the Matrix 2 and Matrix 3 with another actor that was supposedly his brother.
Oh yeah,
it happened there, and
it was a pain negotiation too. I remember.
Right. So you could do some clumsy script writing like that, and you could. I've heard Don Cheadle as somebody people were asking for.
The fans, not people, but the fans. So
and the fans say, let's go opposite from her. Let's go male and let's go black. Or is it going to be Don Cheadle as a woman? I don't know.
Wow.
That's what the fans want. Who knows what the fans want? But, pronouns. And then we have the option of Bill Burr's character. Now, this is the interesting one. Everybody likes Bill Burr in The Mandalorian. A lot of people are upset with Bill Burr with his stand-up, with his podcast. I mean, I think he's on the spice level right up under Joe Rogan. I'm a big Bill Burr fan. I love him in The Mandalorian. I think he's underappreciated with his acting chops, and I would love to see more of him and his character in The Mandalorian, and there's something there of interest. The trick to this is how long before they're going to want to cancel him. And to me, the whole thing with Gina is interesting on its own because the execution of Gina it says a lot to everybody wanting to do business with Disney. Okay, like all these people that have contracts, there's a reason that the cast aren't speaking out, and it's because they're afraid. That's it. Like if it happened to her and Disney's willing to pull figures off the shelf, then it could happen to them.
It's very sudden the way she was fired. It just happened all over one night. She lost her agent, she lost her job, and her toys are gone. I think all in less than 24 hours. So imagine you go into Disney and you go, oh boy, I'm finally working with the mouse. And you're like, yikes, I could lose all that in 24 hours.
And before this Gina stuff, people was they were coming after Rosario Dawson for something she hadn't even done. They were calling her out.
She was acquitted.
I mean, they found her not guilty of anything, and this is from years ago with a person that worked for her that they were accusing her of being transphobic because she went to court with an employee that was trans that stole from her, and they were asking for her head. So, like, this has got to be weird, though, if you're working for Disney and you're working at Disney Star Wars especially. You have to be checking your phone every 5 seconds if you fart in a room. Like, you wonder if Disney's going to fire you because you had an opinion. I mean, you basically have to be a yes to everything now. If somebody says, what do you think about something? You need to look at everybody in the room and ask them, what do you think? And they're like, well, I think this. I think that too. I mean, this is a really weird, I have no words for it, honestly. But I couldn't imagine being one of the cast to these shows right now.
Yeah, but you'll be fine as long as you vote the right way. You vote the way that everyone says you're supposed to vote. Unfortunately, right. I guess Gina has some slightly conservative leanings, so they're like, you know what? We're gonna find any possible excuse to get rid of you just because we think that you guys should be nice and liberal and support all the causes that we want you to pick up for us. By the way, right. Put some pronouns in there, please. No, please do it.
Do it now. All right, guys. That's gonna be it for us. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, leave us a comment if you will, and why not check out our creator-owned book up on Indiegogo, Starlight Cats, Little Girl, Big Adventure, Cats in Space. Go check it out. And we will catch you again with another video.